All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited to bring you my top 5 picks for this month of May. 5 projects that I think have a very good chance of being top performers for this month. So in this video, I'm gonna run through some brief technical analysis with each one of these, kind of just distill in a simple to understand the most important factors with each one of these picks, kind of briefly describe why I'm picking these ones, and talk about some potential price targets. So if you like the sound of that, do me a favor, like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because our picks have been killing it, folks, and you guys need to stay up to date with this news. So number one, I want to start off with Chainlink and kind of go from high cap to low cap, kind of safest to more riskier picks as we go down our list here. Number one is Chainlink, folks. Chainlink, I'm super bullish on for several reasons. First reason, on chart, we're forming several patterns. Wedge pattern broke out bullishly. Ascending triangle here broke out bullishly. If we look at the Chainlink Bitcoin pairing here, we can see that for the last several weeks, really since September, we've been inside this macro descending triangle, and we are now finally breaking out bullishly, flipping major resistance into support, getting above a key fill level. I think Chainlink is ready to start making moves to the upside as well. Taking a look here at kind of the top 10, top 15 coins out there. Let's take a look at what's ahead of Chainlink. Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, XRP, all projects that I think personally have no business being ahead of Chainlink. I think Chainlink has a much better use case than Litecoin. It's kind of a dead project, no one really uses it. Same as Bitcoin Cash, no one really uses it or cares about it. I mean, some people do, and it might be useful as a trade. I don't mean to insult anyone who's holding them. I just think Chainlink has better fundamentals than those two. Taking a look at Dogecoin, Dogecoin's literally just a joke. Chainlink is the thing that will allow the smart contract ecosystem to grow and develop. So I definitely think Chainlink deserves to be ahead of Dogecoin, which is literally a joke. And then you also have XRP, who's getting a bunch of lawsuits. It's delisted everywhere, and the banks are already developing their own internal versions of XRP and already taking over XRP's use case. So I'm very dubious about XRP long term. So right there, we have 4 projects ahead of Chainlink that I think have absolutely no business being ahead of Chainlink. So given that I think Chainlink has better fundamentals than those 4 projects I've mentioned, can move 4 spots up in terms of the market cap ranking. Taking a look at the Chainlink Bitcoin pairing, super long, several months of consolidation, finally bullish breakout, and on chart bullish breakouts. Folks, look, I think Chainlink is 100% ready to see move to the upsides. I think kind of mid to long term price targets are $50 and then $68, $70 for Chainlink. Oof. Folks, once we see the Chainlink Bitcoin pairing start to really move and we start to make higher highs, I think Chainlink is going to absolutely fly. We can already see that this daily candle is the most bullish it's been since this breakout. So even if this daily candle closes as is right now, that's a good sign. So if this daily candle closes right now where it's at, and within the next 5 hours and 18 minutes, it would be the most bullish it's been since this breakout from the several month-long consolidation phase on the Chainlink Bitcoin pairing. So very bullish on Chainlink. Chainlink is my number one kind of high cap pick. That's super safe, but I still think has plenty of room to the upside. That's Chainlink. Moving on, number 2, Polkadot, but more specifically Kusama. And so with my pick, I'm picking Kusama here, but the reason why I'm bullish on Kusama is because I'm bullish on Polkadot. And so let me just explain what's going on here. So Polkadot, I think, is really undervalued, really underperforming. It's had a massive correction. It's kind of, boring people, shaking people out. It's kind of, it constantly keeps teasing people where it'll get near an apex. People are hoping it'll break out. It breaks down. It'll pump, consolidate, then break down. I think Polkadot is really overdue to start making stupid moves to the upside. And if you look at where it's ranked, Dogecoin is ahead of it, XRP is ahead of it. I think those 2 coins have no business being ahead of Polkadot. So I think just in terms of rankings and fundamentals, I think Polkadot has room to the upside. And we're near a correction. We're breaking out bullishly. I think the key range we need to get above to see bullish continuation is $38. We have a fib level right here, and it's a very price reactive level, basically this zone. But for my pick, I want to go with Kusama because if you like Polkadot, you should love Kusama, because what is Kusama? Kusama is essentially a fork of Polkadot that is a lower cap, lower supply version of Polkadot. Kusama is the canary chain of the Polkadot ecosystem. It's just the test bed. It's where all the major improvements go to first. So Kusama essentially does the exact same thing as Polkadot, except again, it has a lower market cap and a lower supply, a max supply of 10 million. And folks, the reason why I'm very bullish and I love the tokenomics of Polkadot is that you have to lock up DOT and Kusama for extended periods of time in order to get parachains. Parachains is what make projects interoperable within their ecosystem. So there's this built-in demand for locking up large quantities of Kusama and DOT for extended periods of time. Very, very bullish of tokenomics. And Kusama, again, it's basically the same thing as Polkadot, except much lower supply, much lower market cap. So whenever Polkadot is looking great, then Kusama by extension looks even better, because it's essentially just a lower cap, lower supply version of Polkadot. So looking at Kusama here, we're forming this very macro descending triangle. We're testing the upper extremities. We may break out bullishly. What I want to see first to see bullish continuation is get up and break out bullishly above this green trend line. This should really be a red trend line because we haven't broken out yet. Red acts as resistance, green acts as support. If we break out bullishly and get above this key fib level of the 236 above $440, $450. If we can start to get above that, hold above that, I think we're going to see bullish continuation, retackle all-time highs, and see further price action, bullish price action. Another thing as well, looking at the Kusama Bitcoin pairing, we're already seeing a bit of bullish divergence here. We're in this downward moving channel, which by the way looks a lot like a bull flag, and we're currently breaking out bullishly. Once we see that higher high, that should be our cue that Kusama is ready to break out bullishly and start making moves to the upside. That's my number 2 pick is Polkadot, but really it's Kusama, because again, Kusama, lower market cap, lower supply, I think has a higher ROI potential, so I'm going with Kusama as my number 2 pick. Number 3, Terra Luna. Folks, this is a project that has really been making moves. I love this price structure. Folks, Terra Luna, which essentially operates and creates different stable coins and a few other things, essentially operates within DeFi, is forming an absolutely gorgeous chart pattern. We're forming this descending triangle, broke out bullishly, and we're falling back down to retest the breakout point and currently holding it as support. Folks, this is a gorgeous textbook entry. Now, folks, look, I know I'm saying folks a lot, but none of this is financial advice. I could be wrong. Bitcoin can crash tomorrow and take the whole market with it. So nothing is a guarantee in the space, but these are high probability setups that I think have very good potential moving forward. This is this is in a absolutely beautiful accumulation zone. Whenever we break out bullishly, sometimes we fall back down, retest the original breakout point at around $15, $16 here. If we can hold that as support, I think all-time highs at the very least is what we retest eventually. But ultimately, I think we could see a $25, $26 Luna as long as we maintain above $15, $16. If we can hold that as support, retesting all-time highs, getting $25, $26 is just a matter of time, in my opinion. So that is my number 3 pick, Terra Luna. Moving on to my number 4 pick, Occam Razor, OCC. What is this project? Occam Finance is a launchpad for the Cardano ecosystem, very similar to CardStarter. CardStarter is a competitor to OccamFi. Now, look, I went with OccamFi with my pick here because OccamFi is a little bit lower market cap than CardStarter. They do pretty much the same thing. They're very similar. But again, I went with OccamFi. It has a little bit lower market cap, and I really like the price structure of this thing. We're essentially just forming a bull flag. Large impulse up, downward moving channel, bullish breakout. So that's a bull flag. I think what we need to see with this thing is get above $14.30. As soon as we can hold that, I think we're seeing bullish continuation and kind of the optimistic scenario for OccamFi here. I think we could see an OccamFi, above $20. Once we can hold $14.30 and not break below it. As well, take a look at the market cap here, $50 million market cap. This is kind of their website right here. Haven't launched anything yet, but they have now announced their first project that they're launching, DeFi, which is essentially an exchange aggregator and will also provide fiat on-ramps for the Cardano ecosystem. Very, very interesting. Very bullish on this project long term. If it could provide a fiat on-ramp, that makes this project very, very interesting. So they've announced their first project that AlkConfi is going to be launching sometime this month in May. Now, from my understanding, there's no minimum you need to hold of Occam Finance. I believe it's you just get allocation. You have to KYC, but let's say you do get whitelisted, you get approved. I believe you just get allocation based on how much AlkConfi you're holding. But from what I understand, if you hold at least $2,000 worth, you may be eligible for future airdrops that the AlkConfi protocol buys and distributes through airdrops later on. So AlkConfi may choose to buy a certain proportion of some of the projects they launch and later airdrop it to holders who hold at least $2,000 worth of Occam Finance. So that's what's going on with this project, AlkConfi, my number 4 pick. Now, last but certainly not least, I want to talk about Siren, which is a low cap derivatives play, number 900 in terms of ranking, $16 million market cap. So this is a really ultra, it is very much so a low capper. Again, the lower we go, the lower the cap, the more improving the project, the greater the risk. So, I wouldn't put any large, the smaller the market cap, the smaller percentage allocation of my portfolio I put into the project. Don't risk any great amounts. Again, none of this is financial advice, but that's kind of my approach with these low caps is, I sometimes put maybe like 2 or 3% of my portfolio into these low caps. So, 16 million, it plays in the derivatives niche. For those who don't know, derivatives are essentially leveraged representations of assets or just synthetic assets where you can create just a tradable asset that follows the value of really whatever you like. And so in the legacy markets, in the stock world, derivatives is far larger than the trading of underlying assets, and crypto is the exact opposite. So I think crypto is going to mature. Eventually derivatives, I think, is destined to mature. And so I think these derivatives plays, the ones that succeed over the long term, are going to do absolutely amazing. Because if the market as a whole can do a 5-10x, what could derivatives do if indeed derivatives is destined to mature and perhaps outperform the trading of the underlying assets eventually? And again, no guarantee that Siren is a winner over the long term, but I've heard a lot of good things about this project. Token Metrics seems to like them, and also the chart looks very, very interesting because we've had nothing but a tremendous pullback, but we're testing some very key areas right now. We can draw a descending triangle or just some red resistance trend lines here based from these peaks here to this one here. We're testing the resistance right now. If we can get above these red trend lines here and maybe start to make new higher highs, get above $2, I think this thing could absolutely explode. Because if we examine the price structure, we see macro lower lows and macro lower highs. But now we're seeing a bit of a trend reversal. We're seeing a new macro higher low. So we've seen a higher low. Now, if we can get a higher high, then that would signal a complete trend reversal from everything we've seen so far. So if we can get above $2, but specifically get above this high, that would be a higher low and then a higher high, and thus mark a potential trend reversal. And I think, based off this being a descending triangle, I think we could at the very least one day retest all-time highs. Again, folks, none of this is guaranteed, but these are all high probability setups, very decent projects that I think have a very good chance of doing very well this month and over the long term. But again, ultimately with this thing, if you want to play it super safe, wait to see if we can break out bullishly. Wait to see if we can make a higher high and a higher low, get above some key resistance levels, because in that case, we could be more confident that we can see bullish continuation. Folks, if you like this video, you have to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new uploads, because we're constantly breaking down the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency technical analysis, high probability setups. We're constantly killing it. As well, folks, check out our VIP Discord group. You get access through our Patreon. Link for that is down in the description below. You can take a look at the projects we've posted about. Almost all of them have done very, very well since we've talked about them. Check them out for yourself. Become a VIP Discord member. Link to join that is through our Patreon down in the description below. And as well, guys, if you guys want to check out Token Metrics, Token Metrics is an AI-fueled price predictions and portfolio suggestions platform that we use to help inform some of our thought process in our research. I believe it was Token Metrics who first turned me on to Terra Luna here, so make sure you check them out. Link for everything is down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, folks, take care.